The Casey Miller case is a tragedy. Simply put, Casey Miller is a young woman who is detransitioning after attempting to transition from a young woman into a young man, with tragically predictable results. Now, as I was watching these videos and being utterly horrified and sympathetic towards Casey, one thing kept springing into my mind. Someone has made a tremendous amount of money off of this young woman, and everyone like her, and will likely continue making a tremendous amount of money off of her and everyone like her for as long as they live. Because you gotta remember, a lot of these surgeries are halfway experimental, or the data on them is incomplete, as there's not really a lot of, if any, long-term reliable studies as to what happens when you try to basically rework an entire person's endocrine system. So someone is making a boatload of money on these people's pain, suffering, and confusion. And that's another thing that kind of sprung up to me. Casey wanted to transition away from being a woman, keep in mind, not towards a man, but away from being a woman, due to a variety of traumas that were, simply put, outside of her control, not her fault, and just as tragic as the situation she now finds herself in. She wasn't running towards being a man, she was running away from being a woman. Which tells me that the people she was surrounded herself with, the ideology that she had, was just as toxic as the one that she ran to in order to escape. Our civilization needs to clean house. In our utter decadence and complacency, all these little pockets of degeneracy have grown. And no, I'm not just talking about lefties, I'm also talking about righties as well. Purity balls, father-daughter virginity pledges. America's better than that. The evangelical movement in America can be just as degenerate and just as horrifying as any Reddit, subreddit, or lefty chat room that you care to name. However, there is one bit of silver lining with all of this, and that is that Casey is actually getting quite popular. Her message is getting out, her story is getting out, and as her story gets out, and as more defenders come to light, and as more people step up to say, you are right, this wasn't your fault, and this is most certainly not something that you should feel ashamed of, but it is something that is tragic and was done to you. The more people that actually stand up and start speaking against this madness, well, the more of it will be prevented. So Casey, by putting herself out there, by exposing herself to the slings and arrows of the people that want to shut her up, is probably saving many young girls that were just like her at one point in time. So, that's my silver lining to this whole tragedy, and, well, wherever Casey is, I hope she recovers, and I wish her the best of luck. Y'all have a very nice day, and remember, stay healthy. And if anyone comes along and tells you that all of your suffering can be cured by one miracle thing, all you have to do is pay us a boatload of money. Turn away, because they're lying to you. That has never been true. Life has always been filled with hardships, and the only way that you can overcome it is one step at a time, one problem at a time, and usually through self-improvement. Bad things happen to people, for better or for worse, because they were not strong enough to fend them off. So the best you can do is either become strong enough to fend off the next one, or become clever enough to stay out of their way. Reality may be harsh, but at the very least, when you peel it down to its bones, it's honest. You have a very nice day, and remember, stay safe out there. Stay healthy, and have a good one.